If you're over 60 and your arms feel weaker when you lift a bag of groceries, if your legs get tired climbing stairs that used to feel easy, or if you've looked in the mirror lately and thought, "Where did my strength go?" then I want you to hear this, not because you're broken, not because something's wrong with you, but because no one ever told you the truth about muscle loss after 60. It's not just about getting older. It's not just about slowing down. It's not just something you're supposed to accept. It's something you can fix, starting with what you eat before 9 a.m. Here's what you were never told. The first meal of your day literally sets the tone for how your muscles age, not just for that day, but for the weeks, months, and years to come. And if you get this part wrong, if you skip breakfast or grab something fast and sweet, or eat what most health articles call light and healthy, you might actually be signaling your body to waste muscle instead of rebuild it. That's right, even a well-meaning bowl of fruit and toast could be slowly draining your strength. But the good news is, science now shows there's something incredibly powerful you can do in the first few hours after waking. A simple shift, a small change in timing and what you put on your plate. And it has the power to literally switch your body into muscle-building mode, no matter how old you are. That's what we're going to walk through today. This isn't about supplements, it's not about joining a gym, and it's definitely not about protein shakes full of weird chemicals. It's about feeding your body what it's truly hungry for, at the exact time your cells are most ready to receive it. Because the older we get, the more resistant our muscles become to growth. That's not your fault. That's biology. It's called anabolic resistance, and by age 60, your muscle cells don't respond to protein the way they used to. In your 20s, you could eat a sandwich and your body would shuttle amino acids straight into muscle tissue. After 60, not so much. The process slows, it weakens. But here's the key, it doesn't stop. You can still build muscle, you can still regain strength, but it takes strategy. And timing is everything. Research shows that the first meal after waking up is your most critical opportunity. It's when your metabolism is at its most sensitive, when your hormone levels are primed to direct nutrients into repair mode, especially muscle repair. But if you skip that window, if you eat too little or the wrong things or too late, your body starts breaking down muscle instead of building it. And the most dangerous part, you may not feel it right away. It's not dramatic. It's not painful. It's quiet. A little less strength, a little more fatigue, trouble rising from a chair, needing to use your hands to get off the couch. And then one day you realize you're not just getting older, you're getting weaker. But that's not inevitable because now we know exactly what to do. We now know that the kind of protein you eat, how much of it you eat, and when you eat it, especially in the morning, can either trigger muscle growth or muscle loss. In one study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed at least 30 grams of high-quality protein within 2 hours of waking had significantly greater muscle synthesis compared to those who waited until lunch or dinner. That's not just theory. That's measurable muscle, more stability, more energy, more power to do what you love, walking, gardening, playing with your grandkids, without feeling like your body is working against you. But here's the surprising part. It's not just about eating more protein. It's about eating the right kind of protein. Because not all protein is created equal. For seniors, the key is getting enough of one specific amino acid, leucine. Leucine is like a switch. When it hits your muscle cells in the right amount, it turns on mTOR, the signaling pathway that tells your body, hey, it's time to build. But if you don't get enough leucine in one sitting, the signal never flips. You eat the protein, but your muscles don't respond. That's why nibbling on a hard-boiled egg, or sipping half a yogurt, or eating a slice of peanut butter toast in the morning often isn't enough. It feels like you're eating protein, but you're not hitting the leucine threshold that your body needs after 60. And here's what the science says. Older adults need about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to truly stimulate muscle protein synthesis. How do you get that? It depends on the source. 3 whole eggs? That's only about 1.2 grams. A cup of milk? Less than 1 gram. But a serving of high-quality whey protein isolate? That could give you all 3 grams in one scoop. A small chicken breast? Same thing. A can of tuna? Very close. Add a few eggs to that? Now we're talking. So what does that mean for you? It means the breakfast plate you build matters more than any supplement in your cabinet. And it doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be intentional. Here's a powerful example. You wake up, you hydrate with a glass of water and a pinch of sea salt. You go for a 10-minute walk just to get the blood flowing. Then you sit down to a real breakfast. Maybe that's 3 eggs, a few ounces of smoked salmon, and half an avocado. Maybe it's Greek yogurt mixed with a scoop of whey protein and a handful of walnuts. Maybe it's leftover chicken and vegetables from last night's dinner, reheated and topped with olive oil and turmeric. You're not just eating. You're giving your muscles exactly what they need. And they will respond because your body is still listening. Your body is still adapting. And every bite you eat sends a signal, build or break down. And when you start your day with that clarity, when you make your first meal the strongest one, the rest of the day shifts. You move with more energy. You carry yourself with more confidence. You sleep better. You recover faster. And over time, you reverse the slow slide that so many people think is just part of aging. It's not just breakfast, it's your foundation. And if you're thinking, I've never been a big breakfast person, that's okay. You can train your appetite. Start small, but make it count. Skip the toast and jam. Skip the cereal. Skip the banana and coffee combo. Because those things may feel light and easy, but they are quietly working against your strength. And what you need now is power. Because this isn't just about muscle. This is about mobility, balance, bone density, even brain health. Sarcopenia, the loss of muscle with age, is linked to higher risk of falls, fractures, dementia, depression, and even death. But it's not a sentence, it's a condition. And conditions can change. In fact, some of the most exciting studies in the last decade show that people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s can still build new muscle tissue when they eat the right way and move the right way. It's never too late. And your next breakfast? That's your first step. So tomorrow morning, I want you to ask yourself, what message am I sending my body right now? Is it weakness or strength? Is it fatigue or fuel? Is it decline or repair? Because that question, that quiet moment of choice, could be the turning point. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to begin. And in the next part of this video, we're going even deeper. You're going to learn exactly what to combine with protein in the morning to amplify its effects. We'll look at the science behind specific foods, natural movement patterns, and timing tricks that triple your muscle response. You'll also hear the story of one man who, at 73, reversed over a decade of muscle loss, and the one habit that changed everything for him. Stay with me, because this is where it gets even better. Now, you might be wondering, if getting enough protein and leucine is the first step, what comes next? What else can I do, first thing in the morning, to make sure that protein actually turns into stronger muscles, not just a full stomach? And this is where it gets really exciting, because there's something else you can do before 9 a.m. that boosts the effect of that protein like rocket fuel. And it doesn't require a gym. It doesn't require weights. It doesn't even require you to leave your house. I'm talking about gentle resistance, light movement. And the science behind it is crystal clear. When you pair protein intake with even the simplest form of muscle activation, your body becomes dramatically more responsive to rebuilding. Think about it like this. Protein is the building block, but movement is the signal. If you eat protein and then sit still all day, your body assumes, we don't really need strength. We're not moving. So it stores some of that protein, it burns a little, and it discards the rest. But when you move, even just for 10 to 15 minutes, your body goes, wait, these muscles are working. Let's rebuild, let's reinforce, let's grow. That's the principle of muscle protein synthesis. And it doesn't matter how old you are, your body still responds. There was a study published in the Journals of Gerontology where researchers found that older adults who combined breakfast protein with just 15 minutes of light resistance exercise had nearly double the muscle protein synthesis response compared to those who ate the same meal and remained sedentary. Same food, same people. But one simple action made all the difference. And this doesn't mean intense workouts. I'm not saying you need to do push-ups or lift heavy weights. It can be as simple as standing up from a chair 10 times in a row, holding onto the kitchen counter and doing calf raises, walking slowly up and down your hallway with intention, even stretching with resistance bands for a few minutes. You're not training for a marathon, You're reminding your body this muscle matters. And when you send that message consistently, your body listens. So let's put it together. Tomorrow morning, you wake up. You drink water. You stretch a little. Maybe you do 5 minutes of movement, just something to wake the muscles. Then you eat. And what you eat isn't random, it's strategic. It includes at least 30 grams of high-quality protein. Not just any protein, but something that delivers enough leucine to reach that muscle-building threshold. That could be 3 eggs with a few ounces of chicken or turkey. It could be a protein smoothie with Greek yogurt, whey protein, almond butter, and flax seeds. It could be leftover wild salmon and roasted vegetables. Warm, nourishing, real food. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. One breakfast like this, it helps. But 5 in a row? 10? That's when the magic starts to show up. You find yourself standing taller, reaching for things more easily, lifting grocery bags without thinking, feeling more steady on stairs, less afraid of slipping, more confident in your own body. Because that's what strength gives you. It's not just about looking fit. It's about freedom, independence, dignity. And if you've been told that muscle loss is just a natural part of aging, I want you to challenge that idea today. Because yes, aging changes things, but aging doesn't mean helplessness. It means you have to be more intentional, that's all. Your body still wants to repair. It still wants to regenerate. It's just waiting for the right instructions. And when you give it those instructions, protein, movement, consistency, it will surprise you. Now let's go one level deeper, because rebuilding muscle isn't just about protein and movement. It's also about what your body needs to process those nutrients properly. And this is where most people miss the mark, even the ones who eat well, because you can eat all the protein in the world. But if your digestion isn't working, or your hormones are off, or your cells are starved for specific micronutrients, your body won't use that protein the way it's supposed to. So what helps? One key piece is your stomach acid. As we age, our stomach acid naturally declines. That might not sound like a big deal, but here's why it matters. Stomach acid is what breaks down protein into usable amino acids. Without enough of it, your body struggles to access the very building blocks it needs. That's why so many seniors who feel like they're eating enough protein still lose muscle. It's not a protein issue. It's an absorption issue. Now, one easy fix for that? Start your morning with a splash of apple cider vinegar and water. Just a tablespoon in a glass. That alone can help support digestion and stimulate stomach acid. Or you can try a digestive enzyme with breakfast. Something simple, safe, and targeted. Another key player is vitamin D. Not just for bones, but for muscle health. Studies show that low vitamin D levels are linked to increased risk of sarcopenia, falls, and reduced strength. And the older you are, the harder it becomes to make vitamin D from sunlight. So, if you're not getting your levels tested at least once a year, or supplementing wisely, you might be running low without even knowing it. Same with magnesium. This mineral is involved in over 300 processes in the body, including muscle contraction and repair. But more than half of older adults don't get enough. Add in medications like diuretics, antacids, or blood pressure pills, and your magnesium levels drop even more. So even if you're eating the right food, your body might not have the tools to use it well. That's why this isn't just about breakfast. It's about creating a body that's ready to receive strength, a system that's primed for growth. And that's what makes this so different from the usual fitness advice. Because this isn't about willpower. It's not about forcing your body. It's about working with it, listening, nourishing, supporting. And when you start from that place, you begin to feel something you haven't felt in a while. Hope. The kind of hope that comes when you realize, I'm not stuck like this. Because you're not. You're just one breakfast away from a better direction, one meal away from turning the tide, and it's not too late. In the final part of this video, we're going to bring it all together. You'll learn exactly how to structure your morning for maximum strength. We'll look at simple routines you can do in just 15 minutes. We'll talk about recovery, hydration, and the most powerful mindset shift that helps seniors stay strong, not just for months, but for decades. And I'll share a story that still gives me goosebumps about a 79-year-old woman who thought her best days were behind her until she made one small change before 9 a.m. What happened next stunned her doctor, and it just might change everything for you too. So stay with me. Because your body is ready. Your strength is waiting. Let's finish this together. Let's pick up right where we left off. Because now, you know that what you eat before 9 a.m., especially when it includes high-quality protein, the right amino acids like leucine, and is paired with gentle movement, has the power to literally rebuild the muscle you thought was gone forever. But here's the thing most people don't realize. The benefits don't stop at your arms and legs. Rebuilding muscle also supports your metabolism, your blood sugar, your balance, your brain, even your mood. And that means you're not just getting stronger, you're becoming more resilient in every way. Muscle isn't just about physical strength. It's your body's survival currency. It protects you in a fall, it keeps your immune system more responsive, it helps regulate hormones like insulin and cortisol, and when you preserve muscle, especially as you enter your 60s, 70s, and beyond, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. That's the promise of this one change before 9 a.m. And it's not a gimmick, it's not a trend. It's what the science has been telling us for decades, quietly, patiently, while the world chased fad diets and fitness crazes that never lasted. Now, let's talk about how to put all this into practice, because you don't need a complicated plan. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. or start eating things you've never heard of. You just need a simple rhythm, a few easy habits you can repeat every morning until they become second nature. Here's what that might look like. You wake up and give yourself a moment, before the phone, before the news, before the rush of the day. You drink a tall glass of water, maybe with a little pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon. That simple act rehydrates every cell and kickstarts digestion. You move, just 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe it's standing leg lifts. Maybe it's walking in place while brushing your teeth. Maybe it's a few shoulder rolls and gentle squats while the coffee brews. Whatever feels right to your body, as long as it's movement. Then comes the anchor. Breakfast. Not toast and jam, not just cereal, but a real protein-rich, muscle-supporting meal. Maybe it's 3 scrambled eggs with spinach and mushrooms cooked in olive oil. Maybe it's a smoothie made with whey protein, almond milk, chia seeds, and berries. Maybe it's cottage cheese with walnuts and cinnamon. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. Now, let me tell you about someone who did this, and what happened. Her name is Carol. She's 79 years old, lives alone, independent, but she'd been feeling more tired, more stiff. Her doctor told her that her muscle mass was dropping fast, that it was normal for her age, that all she could really do was stay active. But Carol wanted more than normal. She wanted to walk without fear. She wanted to carry her groceries again. She wanted to feel like herself. So, she made one change, just one. She started eating 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking up, every single day. Eggs, smoothies, sometimes leftover grilled chicken from dinner. Nothing fancy. And alongside that, she started doing 10 minutes of light movement every morning. Sometimes just marching in place, sometimes walking around her kitchen with soup cans in her hands like little weights. 3 weeks in, she told me something I'll never forget. She said, "I don't feel younger, I feel clearer, like my body is waking up again." 6 weeks in, she was walking further, holding herself straighter. Her pants fit differently, not because she lost weight, but because her posture had changed. And at her next appointment, her doctor blinked twice at her chart, because her grip strength had gone up. Her blood pressure had stabilized. And for the first time in 2 years, she had gained lean muscle mass. That's the power of one shift before 9 a.m. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not past your prime. You are in the perfect place to start honoring your strength again. And if you're watching this right now thinking, could that really work for me? I want to tell you something from the bottom of my heart. Yes, it can. And not because you have to change everything overnight, but because your body is listening. Always. It listens to every meal, every step, every bit of nourishment, every act of care, and it responds. You just have to give it the message, clearly and consistently. So what do you do next? You decide that tomorrow morning, not next week, not someday, tomorrow morning is the day you start. You get your protein ready tonight, you write it down, you plan your 5-minute movement. You go to bed knowing that when you wake up, you're not just eating breakfast, you're sending your body a message. It's time to get strong again. And maybe you're not doing it just for yourself. Maybe it's for the grandkids, for the partner who's still by your side, for the life you still want to live, with joy, with energy, with confidence. Or maybe it's just for you, because you deserve that. You've carried so much, you've worked so hard, you've adapted again and again, and now it's your turn to be supported. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about claiming strength. Not the kind you had in your 20s, but the kind that belongs to you now. The kind that's rooted in wisdom, in patience, in knowing your body well enough to give it what it needs, and nothing less. So, let's close with this. Every morning, you have a choice. You can feed the decline, or you can feed the repair. You can wake up and tell your body, let's survive today. Or you can wake up and say, let's rebuild. You already know which one leads to strength, which one leads to hope, which one leads to a life that expands instead of shrinking. So tomorrow, eat to rebuild, eat with intention, move with love, and let your mornings become the foundation of your future. Because no matter how old you are, your muscle still hears you, your strength still remembers, and your best years might still be ahead. Let's keep going.